On Plannr, all of your firm employees, clients, introducers and third parties can be found under Contacts. You can navigate to Contacts by selecting it from the left-hand side menu bar, and here you can see a full list of any contact record that has been loaded onto Plannr. By selecting the account type in the drop-down menu, you can opt to just see your employee list, your client list, or introducers only. Alternatively, if you wish to search for a specific record by name, you can type that in here. By selecting more filters, you can also see other options for accessing your contact records. Say for example you wanted to view all clients that have the high net worth tag. Simply select account type client and tag high net worth. The contact list underneath automatically returns only those records that meet this criteria. Resetting the filters brings back your full list of contact records in Plannr. The first thing we will do today is set up a new employee record. This is how you will add all of your firm staff and give them a log on to the system. Select Add New from the top of the Contacts page and click Employee. If the employee hasn't started with you yet, you can opt to load them in as a prospect. We will say no here and load an existing member of staff. Populate the fields with their name, work email address and, if applicable, a link to their meeting diary should you wish for clients to be able to book meetings with them via the client portal. Now you need to choose what user level access they will have. An owner has super user access and can control billing, teams, branding and other firm level settings. Admin users have the ability to make changes in the settings area and can view their team's tasks, for example, but not billing. A member will have day-to-day access to clients and plans in Plannr. You can now add your employee to any departments they are a part of. This is a multi-select, so you can choose as many as are appropriate for their role. You can also add them to as many groups as required. These groups will have had to have been set up in your settings area, and if you wish for this employee to have access to a specific client bank within a group, they must also be a member of the group in order to see them. If the employee is an advisor, you will need to state their RMAR advice type, and also select an advisor split if needed, which again will have been set up in your settings area. Finally, if you wish, you can make a note of their start date here. Clicking on Save will take you to their employee contact record. You can see in the breadcrumb along the top which contact record you are looking at, and you can easily navigate back to all records in the Contacts page by clicking on Contacts here. From within the employee record you have some options. The first thing we will do is provide this user with a logon to Plannr. You can either click on the Add New button and select Login, or you can click on Access and Create New Login to bring up the login modal. You will need to re-enter the employee's work email address here, and then choose whether you wish this login to expire after a certain period of time. You must also select whether you wish them to have write access or not, and whether you wish them to have delete permissions. Once you've chosen, clicking on Create will set them up a license to Plannr and the ability to log on and start work. It's worth mentioning that each created logon will generate a new license which is billable at your current license rate. Looking now at the employee's side menu, you can see 5 sections within their record. The first is their dashboard page, which has their basic core information, contact details, a notes section, and their recent activity. Expanding their personal details section gives you options to view and edit any of their contact record information. And from within each view in Plannr, you can simply click on Add New if you need to update anything, or under Actions you can select here to update basic details. Let's move now to the Work section. This will give you access to any tasks they have assigned to them, and you can add any additional tasks from this page if you wish by clicking the plus sign next to the relevant task status. In Documents, you can store any files you need to against this employee record. You can also send a file for signature, add notes, or view the audit record to see what has changed within this record. Finally, the Conversations area is where you will find any open conversation threads that the employee is a part of. Clicking into any conversation will take you to the thread where you can continue the discussion, add new participants, archive, or delete if needed. That's how to set up an employee on Plannr. Next, we'll take a look at adding a brand new client. From your home screen, you can easily add a new client using the Quick Actions drop-down menu here. Otherwise, in the Contacts tab, you can select Add New and choose Client. In the Basic Details tab, you are able to select if the contact is a prospect or a live client, and then what type of client they are. In this instance, we will load on an active individual client. Populate the fields with your client's information and be sure to select the regulatory classification as this is a required field for RMAR purposes. Next, we head to the Personal Details tab to add additional information. All of these fields are optional and can be left blank at this stage if unknown. The Contact and Preferences page is where you will add your client's primary email address and phone number. Additional contact methods can be added once the client is saved. Your Service tab is where you log who the assigned advisor and administrator are. These employees will be the default contact should the client start a conversation within Plannr, unless they specify a particular member of staff. You can add the client to a group, set their status to active, and add any additional information that is relevant to your firm. Heading to the Key Dates area, we can set any relevant anniversaries here that would be useful to, say, trigger an automation on. Here we will add their review date. Finally, the Portal Access and Triggers tab is where you can opt for an email to be sent directly to the client to invite them to join Plannr. You can also trigger a workflow here for your team to start working on. Your workflows are set up in the Settings area of Plannr, and you can access help on how to create a workflow on our help guides. And that's it, you've now created an individual client record. Hit Save to be taken to their contact record on Plannr, and we'll take a closer look at how to enrich the data further if you need to. From within the client dashboard, you can click on the Add New button to quickly add additional information such as email addresses, phone numbers, dependents, plans, or more. From your Actions menu, you can also update basic details to return to the Create Client modal if you wish. Let's add an additional email address. We'll label this as their work email address. We will select No to making this the primary email and click Save when ready. Heading back to the client dashboard, you can now see that when you click on Contact, you have both the primary email address and a toggle to view any additional email addresses here. Looking now at the menu bar down the left-hand side of the client record, you can expand the Personal Details section to access a whole range of client information. Here you can record their plans, goals, relationships, dependents, and so on. Clicking on one of the sections here takes you to the relevant page where you can add client information. From here, let's add a plan. Click on the Plan section under Personal Details and select Add Plan. The client's name will be pre-populated here, and underneath you can select the type of plan. For this example, I'm going to select a pension. From the plan type list that appears below, I'm going to select a SIP. You can opt to show this on the joint client record if applicable, which I'll say no to here, and you can also add the plan's provider. Let's load an Aberdeen SIP. You must enter a policy number here, and you can mark it as a wrap product or one of the child plans within a wrap here. Clicking on Next takes you to the Plan Details tab where you can enhance the information held for this plan. You can change the label if you like, and you must state if the plan is active, inactive, or proposed. I'm going to give this active plan an opened app date at the start of the month, and I'll select the selling advisor, which is also the active advisor. As the agency is in our name, I'm also going to put the from date as the start of the month. To complete any of the final details required, including the mandatory question on whether or not you want your plan visible on the client portal and included in the client valuation, and hit Next. Your final tab gives you the option to load a manual valuation entry. I'm going to put in a valuation of £200,000 at today's date. Click Finish and you will now be directed to the Plan Details page for this Aberdeen SIP. There are now a few more fields available to you for completion if you require. I'm going to add the client's pensionable earnings of £75,000 here and hit Save. From within this plan under the client record, your plans menu now has additional pages under the Details header: Charges, Work, and New Business Events. These are all records that are updated at the plan level and are specific to this Aberdeen SIP. For example, you could upload a document to the Work menu that is this plan's completed application form. You could create tasks at a plan level that say, for example, instruct the paraplanning team to research funds for a model portfolio. Let's navigate back to the client record level and continue looking at our client menu. Clicking on the contact name and the breadcrumb at the top is an easy way to get back. Moving on now to the Work tab. Expanding this at the client level gives you access to the client's cases, tasks, and documents, among other things. If we click on Cases, we can very easily add a new case here by clicking on this button. Let's add a pension transfer. I'm going to select this pension transfer from my Case Type drop-down menu. These case types are set up in your Settings area of Plannr. I will give the case name Pension Transfer from Scottish Widows. The client is pre-populated, but you can add multiple clients here if the case relates to more than one contact record. I will set the case status to in progress and give an estimated transfer value of £150,000. I can opt to link an existing plan to this case here, and I'm going to select the Aberdeen SIP. At this stage I won't trigger a workflow, so let's hit save. We are now taken to the case dashboard. This is a high-level summary of everything that's happening within the case, and from here you can add notes, at people to notify them of an update, allocate tasks to this specific body of work, or head over to your side menu for more. Here you can view your case tasks Kanban board, upload documents that relate to the transfer, add notes, and so on. You will also see that you can start a conversation within the case and log time spent working on this case. As with most pages in Plannr, your Add New and Actions menu is updated to reflect the actions you are able to take within this area of Plannr. So ensure to take a look at your options as you navigate around the system. Let's once again head back to our client via the breadcrumb and continue looking at the Work menu. Your tasks board at a client level shows you all the tasks logged against the client, and by clicking on More Filters you can narrow this view to specifically look at, say, all overdue tasks. More information on tasks can be found in our guides. Your Documents area is where you can file all of your client work. You will see there are already linked folders for your cases, conversations, and plans. If you want to file a document against the pension transfer case we just created, you can easily do it from here by clicking Cases and then the Pension Transfer folder. Uploading a file is really simple. You just click on the Upload button and select the file you wish to add. Heading back to the Documents folder, you will have set up your firm-wide Documents folder structure in the Settings area of Plannr, but it's easy enough to add another folder specific to this client if needed. Simply click on Add Folder and give the folder a name. I'm going to call this folder Shared Files. Here you can opt whether you would like the client to be able to see this folder on their client portal and upload files to it as well. Let's select Yes to both. Once you hit Save, you will now see that the folder is marked with the note that clients can read and write to this folder. All of your other folders and documents are private to your firm and not visible to the client from their portal. We will look at more of the contact record menu options in detail in future videos, but for now you know how to set up a new client, add a plan, a case, and upload documents to their file.